Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, but most importantly, if you would like to join the debate, simply click the link in the info box below this video to join the discussion and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. In a moment, I'm going to transition across to the Hangout so you can see the chat scrolling on by. But one more time, if you are new to the channel or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Been a bit of a technical issue, so I might do a few shout outs straight away. Please share the show. Peter Smith, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Roger MC. There's no swearing, please. Please stop. Good to see you. Aaron Moorfield, thanks for being here. Nick Noel, good to see you. Coke Hyena, thanks for being here. Are you related to slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena by any chance? Possibly. Who knows? Karen P. Coltrane, good to see you. Jose, thanks for being here. NASA Says, good to see you as well. One of you could click the link in the info box. That was part of my technical issue, so just check that it actually does work and take you to this call. I'd be very grateful. Short to ground. Hello. P. Mars, thanks for being here. Good to see you, my friend. Lottie Says, hello. I missed anybody. Possibly. Bill G, yes. How you doing? Mark Taylor, good to see you. Vinegar Strokes, good to see you as well. And Free Minded, thanks for being here. Peter Smith. God, there's loads of people in the chat. Shruminati, thanks for being here. Ares 106. Need more for any more. Tony, good to see you. Rune Thornton, good to see you. And Shane Carlos. Carlos. Good to have you here. So shut up, moron. Well, you're probably right. Didn't get your name right. Oh, one more. Freelance Balloon Twister. Also good to see you. I think that's me at the bottom. You may hear from me again to introduce anybody who comes in. If not, you'll hear from me in 5 or 10 minutes to go through pretty much exactly the same information and maybe do some more shout outs. Been joined by Peter Smith. How you doing? Hello, Peter. Good to have you.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Very well, very well. Good to see you.
It's just this. I watched this show for a couple of months now, and I thought I would just give it a go because, you know, where's Mr. Anthony Riley?
It wasn't about yesterday. I think he's had a couple of late nights. He's been on a few other shows doing debates. So.
Is it just us on at the moment?
It is.
Right. Oh, well. Yeah, well, I'm a flat earther myself. I've been to the Isle of Man a few times, and I've never been to some. But I do understand that seeing the Isle of Man from England, it's not it's not uncommon. No. But Mr. Riley's, yes, Karen, I've had a couple of beers. Yeah, that's correct. It's just that as far as I know, you're supposed to see the Isle of Man from the coast of England. I'm not entirely sure where, but so yeah. You certainly shouldn't be seeing Ireland. I mean, that's for bloody sure. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're coming through loud and clear.
Great. So what's the subject of discussion today? Because I really, really like to talk about NASA.
Go ahead.
Because I watched a video. I watched a video last night about, you know, all these lies. And I could see the bloody bubbles. I mean, God blimey, I could see the bubbles. Yes. And this astronaut, right, obviously he had a leak in his helmet because there was a bubble in his helmet. He's a water bubble in his helmet. Hello?
Interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm listening. Interesting stuff.
Have you seen that video, Nathan?
Possibly.
The one with the
I've seen
astronaut.
a few bubbles in space videos
this
in my
big
time.
water bubble in his bloody helmet. How in the world could that happen unless he's got a leak and he's in a bloody pool and the water's leaked into his helmet? And I mean, I can't see any other explanation for that. Can you?
I don't know. The standard line of explanation is something along the lines of a cooling system leak inside their suit. So I think that's NASA's explanation.
A cooling system, right? Oh, don't they use like nitrogen for that?
I don't know. I'm being very vague. I can't remember the exact position from NASA in regards to
liquid nitrogen or something. I think they use.
Well, it was something to do with water, but water was leaking into the suits, and they declared that they had to have some sort of snorkel.
So what are we going to talk about today then?
Say again?
What do you think we should talk about today?
This is it. This is what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about the snorkels in the NASA helmets because apparently...
Oh, wonderful. That's great. Right. Well, yeah, and there was another video I watched, right? And it was some sort of news anchor or something, talking to people on the set called ISS. I mean, come on. Are you bloody balmy? You expect us to believe that? That's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So, I'm sorry. I swore. Oh, Nathan, I'm so sorry. I forgot about the swearing thing. I'll really try my best not to do that again. Yeah. So basically, the anchor said to the guy about these conspiracy theories, "Can you prove that you're actually up there?" And the guy tried to do a backflip and he fell over. One Nathan.
Yeah, I do remember Tim Peake's harness slip very distinctly.
Yeah, that's the one, mate. That's the one.
Yeah, I mean, it was even slowed down by the BBC to make it slightly less obvious. I think DITRH...
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, DITRH did a comparison video showed the original footage versus the BBC.
Can we look at this Isle of Man thing again? Because I've heard, Miss Riley, he's talking about, Anthony, he's talking about these chimneys or something. And as far as I know, that stupid idiot, Paul, can't identify them. That Paul Vitt or that or something like that.
Well, we were talking about this yesterday and the day before and the day before that and the day before that. We have talked about this particular part of the island non-stop. And for us, it's been the cause of quite a few fallouts, I'm not going to lie. And the reason is simple.
I mean, that guy's a bloody idiot. He's an absolute idiot. And the rumpus as well. I mean, these people think they know what they're talking about. And they try to use maths. And
hello,
it's so
Effie
ridiculous.
Colt, how you doing? Hello, Effie Colt. Can you say hello?
Who's this?
Somebody who's just getting ejected for not saying anything. You need to say hello if you're going to join and actually say something before I kick you out, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so the north end of the island, which is the closest to us.
That the Rumpus? Yeah, he's an absolute fool.
He's not a fool. The Rumpus is actually an intelligent guy. He's just indoctrinated.
Oh, right.
Like a lot of people.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I suppose I could agree with that, yeah.
But no, Paul the same. He's
I
no
mean,
fool.
I didn't do very well in school.
He's no fool, is what I'm trying to say.
Glad
These people aren't stupid.
I can avoid indoctrination by basically just dogging it every day and just not paying attention to these bloody teachers. I mean, so I can avoid it all the indoctrination. The thing that did it for me, right, was nearly dropped my phone there. The thing that did it for me is that war always finds and seeks its level. You cannot argue with that. And there's this fella, this Scottish lad, his name's Dell, I think, and he's saying that there's just no curvature. And I have seen this sound. Is it sound? This sound bloke.
Soundly?
He's got a lake or something.
Soundly.
Sound something.
Soundly.
Soundly. Sound lie, more like sound lie. Yeah, and his bloody. How did he manipulate that image to make it look curved? I mean, it looks. I think Mr. Anthony Riley said that it looked like a basketball. I mean, and he's absolutely right. It was ridiculous. I mean, do they really think we're that stupid?
Hi, Chris.
Who's on now?
Who's Chris?
Who's on now?
I've been joined by Anthony Riley.
Oh, right, I thought it was that Chris Monk bloke.
No, we have Chris in the chat with a voice changer on and an old man looking avatar.
Chris who?
I recognise that dialect anyway.
A voice changer.
Don't know, it's keeping me
Where were you yesterday, Anthony? I missed you yesterday. You were.
Speak for Dumby.
I have to agree with Riley. Peter's Chris. He's a troll.
Who's this?
He doesn't have any of his own ideas. He parrots all the ideas from his Discord group he's in, Troll Team 6. So
what? I really don't know what you're talking about, mate. As I said, the thing that clinched it for me was that it was ODD Reality TV. It's a very, very great video about all these things that just cannot be explained on a globe model. It's ridiculous.
I quite like the distraction, though. It's interesting to hear him say things.
Hey,
The
no.
distraction.
Hey,
Yeah, like the NASA
hello,
thing.
no?
Yeah, they're into that whole
Can you say hello?
distraction
No?
and
Can you say hello?
try to lead us down garden paths that lead nowhere. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, when somebody joins, Peter, if you can just keep an eye on the little icons, because when someone joins, I've got to get a hello from them.
All right, mate. Oh, that's right. You need to introduce them. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, just get a hello. So if you are going to join the show, just say a quick hello when you get in the chat.
Right, now, Mr. Riley, so can we get this Isle of Man thing up and try and identify these bloody smokestacks?
Well, we're waiting for the ballers to do it, Chris. I mean, Gem Panda's claiming that someone's debunked it. I think it's that M. Scott Veach, apparently, from what the rumour is.
Are you getting Chris Monk to do it? Because that guy's pretty good. Yeah, you should get him to do it.
Yeah, we're not able to identify the stacks in Ireland. So that's what we're asking the ballers to do. Because
ask Chris Monk. Yeah, Chris is all right. He's pretty intelligent as far as I know.
Yeah, he's pretty intelligent, Chris. That's absolutely correct. However,
I think you mistake me from someone else, mate.
Pretty sure that you're Chris.
I think it's Chris too.
My name's Peter.
I hate agreeing with Riley.
My name's Peter.
And I hate you agreeing with me, P Mars. I feel like I've become a baller when P Mars agrees with me. I'd rather you disagree with me.
P Mars. Oh, was that bloke with the Mr. Miyagi, the Karate Kid dude with the avatar? Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do with this Isle of Man thing and just put it to bed, because I know we are seeing Ireland. There's just no two ways about it. So if you bring up, Miss Anthony, if you bring up the presentation and show us exactly where Ireland is, that'd be great.
I just need to go to a video called Flat Earth QED. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. And it's demonstrated.
Oh, I saw some of that, Nathan.
Excellent,
yeah,
excellent. Yes, there's a lighthouse called Lag Ness that's situated between us and Ireland, and it's identified in
that's
that
great.
video. There's also another lighthouse that's much closer. If I know you want to focus on these smokestacks, but it's very ambiguous, difficult to determine what things are. Whereas Morgord Lighthouse is
ambiguous.
ambiguous.
Is that like specific or something?
No, it's kind of the opposite of specific. But yeah, anyway, so we've got this other lighthouse that's about the same distance
I'm
as...
thinking of Ubiquitous. That's the one I'm
right.
thinking of.
I see.
Ubiquitous.
That's nice.
No,
So we've got this lighthouse called Morgord, which is pretty much as close as the rest of the stuff that's ambiguous. But definitely Morgord, that's the one. Definitely identifiable, though.
Sounds like
Very
Mordor.
useful landmark.
Like Mordor's got like,
Yeah, it shouldn't really be there. Should be a whole
Sour
wall in
Mord.
front of it. It's on the other side of a hill. But we can see it. It's magically there. All sorts of clever mathematics that go with how it
they're
gets to appear
invoking
there.
this
Amazing stuff.
stupid refraction. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Refraction is just not possible.
Hello, new guest. How you doing? Alan B.
Is
Hello?
he a reverend?
Hello, Alan
Hello,
B.
I'm Alan from Leeds.
He looks like a priest.
How you doing, Alan?
Pretty good. How are you?
Very well. What can we do you for?
Oh, I thought that was a dog collar there. I'm really sorry. I thought that little bit there was a dog collar just under your chin.
He'd pass as Alex, this guy as well, you know.
Alex, who?
Riley and Nathan. Nathan and Riley. Riley and Nathan.
Ranty, you're not saying much. I saw you in Patricia Steers. Is that her name? Patricia? Ranty.
P-Mouse,
I saw that one.
Alex. This could also get...
I really like the story about the wardrobe and the lumberjack.
I'm quite certain it's Chris.
Yeah, I'm quite certain it's Chris, but the
Chris
odd
Monk.
inflection.
No, it was
inflection
Ranty
of
that
music.
was on. Ranty was on Patricia Steers. It wasn't Chris.
Yeah, definitely Chris. That was the biggest giveaway ever. That Scottish
Yeah.
little slant that came out there. What a giveaway.
I'm
Total
sorry.
fail.
I think you've got me confused with someone
Now I
else.
slipped totally out of
Yeah, it
character. Love it. Well done.
So what about the newbie then?
I'm not Chris Monk. My name's
I'm from
Peter
Leeds,
Smith.
Riley. Riley, I'm from Leeds.
I've been paying a lot of attention to this Chris character.
My name is
He
Peter.
likes to talk a lot
I'm
of
not
crap
Chris
about
Monk.
me,
All right.
and he
I'm
doesn't
not.
even.
I'm not bloody Chris Monk.
He doesn't even know me. Like
Get that.
all of his opinions are from his like Discord buddies. So this guy just likes to group think. You know, it's a typical baller mentality.
Chris
They're very
Monk.
weak-minded people.
Chris Monk is bloody from the United States. I'm not fucking. Sorry,
He's
Nathan.
Canadian.
I'm not Chris Monk.
Canadian.
Right, can we bring up this bloody other man thing and try and identify these smokestacks? Because this is the biggest point of contention so far.
Not at all. The biggest point of contention would be that we're seeing Ireland at 145 miles away and Lagness Lighthouse
that
at
too.
51.
Obviously, that's what I'd like Anthony to bring up the thing and show us exactly where Ireland is.
Yeah, we've done that. I just told you. Flat Earth QED. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. We demonstrate
I
that
just wanted
Lagness
to see
Lighthouse...
Anthony's presentation.
Yeah, we've done it. So it sits at 51 miles with Ireland behind it. Do you understand that?
I've seen some of it, but I'm not entirely sure where.
All right, let me
Ireland's
give you
supposed to
clarity.
be.
I'll give you clarity again. We are seeing Ireland at 145 miles with a lighthouse called
I agree,
Lagness.
Nathan. I agree with
You seem to say that you don't understand it, but then you
I'm
don't let
not
me explain it or end a
sure- I'm
sentence
not
when I try to explain it to
sure
you.
Where it is in
Yeah.
the picture, in
Yeah,
the video.
we've done that too. We've shown it in the picture.
Hey Chris, how much time did you spend on Discord yesterday talking about flat Earth?
Is Chris Monk on here?
No, you're Chris.
Come on, Chris.
I'm
we'll
not
get you.
Chris Monk. How
You
many
are.
times do I have to tell you I am not Chris Monk?
Yeah, but you can't hide
Chris
your
Monk is
reflection,
from
dude.
America.
You know, you sound like when Paul comes in and his voice changer and he thinks we don't know it's him. You sound
A
as bad as when
voice
Paul does.
changer. A voice changer.
Yeah, you're just distorting your voice, man. We know it's you.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
So this is really the best that the Ballers have got, is it? Wow, amazing.
Yeah, well,
He's trying to
I
make
don't know
Flat
the
Earth look
bollocks I've
bad.
got. I mean, as far as I know, this Pete Southwind bloke, he's a ball earth, a stupid man.
Right, so do you now understand that there's a lighthouse at 51 miles that demonstrates Ireland is behind it at 145? Do you get that now?
I do get that, yeah, but
That's
I'm not
good.
entirely
Excellent.
sure where it is.
That's really good to
in
know
the
that you get
video.
it now. That's good. I want the audience to really understand
Yeah,
that point.
of course I get it, Nathan.
Good.
I just don't know
Good,
where
good,
it
good.
is in the video.
Yeah, we've shown that. I keep demonstrating it and verbalising it over and over again. So Flat Earth
I get
QED is
that,
the video.
Nathan. I just don't know where it is in the actual video that Ranty made, the composite that Ranty made.
It's on the far
which
left.
was a great job,
Far left,
Ranty. I
far
mean,
left.
I know you.
Far left,
I know
last but
you're
one frame.
very good with,
That's specific
with
enough?
all these video things.
How you doing, Dark Star? Good to have you.
Hey, how's it going?
To see you.
Yeah, I think I might be able to bring some clarity to the Isle of Man issue. I'm not sure how to do this, but can I present my screen?
Yeah, sure you can.
Is Dark Star a globe Earth retard?
Don't be rude to other people. They've done really well. We're not
I'm
even...
sorry, mate. I'm so
even
sorry. I
20
just
minutes in.
find these ballers are so stupid because they can't prove curvature. No one can prove curvature. We're seeing Ireland from St. Base, which is impossible on a globe Earth.
Right. Very well put.
We see
So
you
can I-
trolling, obfuscating,
So yeah, you just share your
controlling,
screen,
and trying
tell me
to
when
catch
you're
me
ready.
riding dirty.
Wave your mouse over the Hangout, top left button, green button, says screen share. Then select the application window. This is the second tab along. Pick what
There
you
was
want to
another
share.
thing I saw you on, Nathan. It was, which I'm a big fan of myself, is urine therapy. And I think it's done me the world of good, urine therapy, as it cures all sorts of things. I don't want to get too explicit or anything, but you know when you're with a woman and you really need to go for a piss, right?
This isn't
Now,
really a great conversation. It's
See,
nothing to do
after
with Flat
that,
Earth,
you
Peter.
get, if you just
Peter.
rub a little bit on, you instantly,
Always
you're ready to
pee
go.
after sex.
So, Peter, this isn't really a Flat Earth conversation, mate.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's a sexual thing or anything, I'm just saying that it cures all sorts of
Sure.
ailments.
Has everybody in the Hangout got the
Yeah,
entire-
it's the elixir of life. That's right. Please stop. Stop. Please stop.
Yeah, I think
It
half the
absolutely
guests
is
have
the
been
elixir of
booted, I
life.
think.
It will keep you young. All you do is you get a little bit, right, and you splash it on your face, and it will take all your wrinkles away. That's what I've found.
Yes. Have we still got you, Alan? Or is he...
Hello.
You're
What's
probably the only
happening?
guest. I think lots of people have been sniped out.
Oh dear. I'm from Leeds.
So what have you got to say for yourself, Alan?
I've been watching for a while. It's quite interesting. Although you spent a lot of time on the Isle of Man. 80 hours to be correct.
And?
Well, for a smudged photo, it's a long time to be spending that amount of time discussing things.
Well, it's up to the ballers now to try and disprove
Well,
it. With plenty of
Your,
time.
your evidence is a composite photograph, which you usually
Oh,
get.
the evidence is a video.
Video.
Well,
What video is?
you're using a composite photograph as your main evidence.
It's a
No,
video.
that's not. That's a
But they
total
can't.
misrepresentation. Do you understand what the purpose of the composite was?
Well, you don't usually like composites.
That's great, but we're not using it to prove a point of fact. We're using it to identify points within the point of fact. The video is the evidence. The composite is simply the tool that allows us or helps us to see
Do you
stuff.
not find that hypocritical, though?
Pardon?
Do you not find it hypocritical?
Not at all. We're not trying to
So,
point. We're not
just-
trying to prove a point of fact with the composite.
Out of interest,
Do you not,
Alan,
do you not find
accept
it
or
manifestly absurd?
Alan, do you accept that we can see Ireland at 145 miles?
Oh no.
You don't? What do you think we can see in the image?
Just the Isle of Man.
Just the Isle of Man. So where we have Lagness Lighthouse, what would you say that is?
A smudge.
Oh, the Mark Taylor defence. I see. So everyone else from the panels, they've been all looking and identifying smudges, right? Why have they been wasting their time, Alan? People like Rumpus and Paul. Why would they waste their time with smudges?
Well, I don't know.
How you doing, Jack Ryan? Good to have you.
On this.
Can you say hello, Jack?
Hello, Mr. Oakley. How are you doing?
I'm going to call this one Brenda. This sounds like Brenda.
How you doing? Bye-bye, Jack. So, you just think it's a smudge, do you, Jack? Alan?
Yes.
Oh, right. So, as I asked earlier, why would people like the Rumpus and Paul spend this 80 hours talking about smudges? It makes no sense to me. Are these people idiots?
Well, perhaps they're mentally impaired.
Maybe they are. Maybe they are.
Perhaps.
Steve Anthony in chat says, are you really good at OBS? What's OBS got to do with anything? Are you better than Chris Truseeker yet? Better at Chris Truseeker than what? How much was that tyre for your Range Rover? Can't remember. 100 and something quid? Steve, how has that got anything to do with what you were talking about a minute ago, which was what you claim is the mast antenna thing in south of Bride? How is any of that relevant, Steve? Right, this is the position, right? The ballers all follow. Apparently, I had Spurs on Skype before, and he's claiming, or he's reporting that Gem Panda and his cronies in his chat all believe that it's been debunked by M. Scott Veach. Yeah, I've not had any conversation with M. Scott Veach. He hasn't presented anything to me to suggest that it's been debunked. But this is the story that seems to be going around, or at least from Spurs Chemo. Now, whether that's correct or not, let's just clear up the issue. Let's just get everybody up to date with where we're at. Everybody's claiming that it's been debunked. Nobody has presented anything to debunk it. Several people have had a go at it and misidentified objects, because when we scrutinize it, we realize that they're not right. Claiming that it's been debunked is not debunking it. Debunking it is debunking it. So anyone that's running around claiming that it's been debunked, bring the evidence. Let's see what you're talking about. Because I'm not going to sit there and watch a 2-hour hangout where it's all basically Riley's this and Riley that, Nathan's this and Nathan's that. All I want to know is the one concise line that says, you've got it wrong because this is that. I don't want somebody to come in with a 20-minute presentation on how they calculated the nonsense. I just want somebody to come in and say, this is what it is. This is the truth. This is the interpretation. This is it. And then we can look at it, challenge it, critique it, and see is it true. Because if somebody claims that we've made a mistake, fine, come and show us. But if you're going to all bandy around in chat saying that it's all been debunked and it's based on Gem Panda's chat, no, nobody's debunked anything yet. You may think you have, but unless we're aware of it, either present us the link and the timestamp for where the point is made, or it's still simply out there, the case that we're still pushing it as exactly what it appears to be. So anybody that thinks it's debunked, please present the evidence.
So far, we've really, since the conclusion, only had one line of defence, which is Alan's and Mark Taylor's, and I believe Paul Voigt has also now adopted this defence, which is to say, this stuff's just smudges, which is a really eloquent defence, but not really convincing.
Gem Panda, check out Faking Flat on my channel to see how they lied to bring us the best flat earth evidence ever. Gem, even if there was a lie, and I think you're referring to the observation height of the observer, we've demonstrated that you would need to be stood at 2.12 miles, was it, Nathan, to see what we're seeing? So you made a whole video, and it was well produced, and we found there was plenty of legs in it. We laughed at it for ages, and still do laugh at it, girl guys. But nonetheless, the point remains that even if you think that in some way I lied about any part of the observer height or any part of what was showed, fine. But even if there was a lie, which I'm not saying there was, but even if there was a lie, where would you put the observer height at, Gem? What value would you put to it? Because you need 2.2 miles of observer height to see what we see. Do you understand that, Gem? Do you understand scale? Do you understand that the observer height makes no difference in this observation? Because no matter what value you put me at, unless we're talking in miles, Gem, You're miles out. Literally, you're miles out. So, yeah, whatever lie you think it was, I'm only using your model, dude. You know, the model that you all distance because you all realize that the observation heights are different, apparently, according to what they say, but in real world, it seems to match. So, no. Anyone that thinks it's been debunked, bring the evidence. Tell us where it is. Let's see what's been said. Present it, because otherwise we're going to keep pushing it, because it's true. We can see Ireland from England. Can't do that if we live on a little sphere. A very little one if you live in Soundley's world on Puddle Pontchartrain. The point remains that Anthony lied and continues to lie. What is the lie, though, Jem? I showed where I was, and I claimed the value that your model claims. Where's the lie? Even if it's inaccurate by a different device of measuring or a different map, that doesn't make it a lie. What makes it a lie is the intention to deliberately deceive somebody. No, I've presented your model. That is not lying, Jeremy. Do you understand what lie means, Jeremy? I suggest you don't. There's a world of difference between an intention to deceive and simply getting something wrong. My position is that I'm getting it right. You guys are getting it wrong, and therefore I'm not even lying. It's not even a lie. It's not even a mistake. I'm correct. You guys are wrong because you won't accept it. You will not accept evidence that's contrary to your own views, perceptions, or beliefs.
They know mathematically how to line everything up, and then when they can't, it just becomes smudges.
All right, so Paul Voigt. Oh, Nathan, we need direction on this. Are we going to address these Burks from chat, or are we going to ignore them? Because part of me wants to, but the other part doesn't want to glorify them.
I don't mind either way. You do what you like.
Riley's claim that we would need to be at 2.2 miles observer height is also a lie. He continues to lie to his audience. Well, actually, Paul, it's Nathan's audience. So have you just lied? Is that a lie, Paul? So should we show, for the benefit of Paul, Nathan, should we show them where that value comes from?
Hello, Pete.
I got a question. I was wondering, do you think that math is a language or not?
You could definitely describe maths as a language.
You would? All right.
I would say it could be described as a language, yes.
I would agree. You can talk in numbers. That's exactly what NASA do, right? But should we show them, Nathan, where that 2.2 miles comes from?
Yeah, you be my guest.
Okay. So if I share my screen for the benefit of Paul, because the physicist doesn't seem to understand where this value comes from. So Paul, this is just for you. Share screens. Boosh. Right. So am I being presented, Nath?
You are.
Okay, Paul. So just for you, because everybody else gets this apart from Paul, our position is that we're seeing Ireland. Okay. So whatever arbitrary value that we give to the land that's south of Isle of Man is about there somewhere. The value, according to this, is around about 137 miles. Okay.
Hello, little voice.
So
how you doing? Good to have you here.
Hello, Nathan.
Hello.
I love you.
Oh, that's
Is that
sweet.
tough to trees?
No, it's little voice.
Oh.
Little voice, do you know why we can see Ireland at 145 miles and there's no obstruction from Earth curve?
It's flat.
It is. I agree. Thanks.
I love you.
Oh, that's sweet. Love you too.
So, Paul, if we go with 137 miles on the observer height, I'm sticking to 52 feet because that's what your model says. All of this nonsense down here highlighted in blue, Paul, is nonsense. So we're not even applying that value anymore. The only value, Paul, that we're applying is this one, because this is the only one that's relevant if we live on a ball. We're not applying the hidden value, Paul. We're applying the drop. So that's where you get 2.2. It's actually 2.37. So I've done myself out of 0.12 of a mile worth of curve that was supposed to be dropped behind the horizon, behind the curve of the Earth, Paul. So for the physicists in the room that don't get it, where's that 2.37 miles of drop curve, Paul? Because it isn't there, is it, Paul? So until somebody can come up with the magic maths to explain that one away, it appears to be flat. It's evidently, repeatedly, reliably, credibly, observably, evidently flat.
Hello.
Simi Usman here. Just wanted to say to all the sexy ladies, I will be flying out the sexy.
Bye, Tim.
You didn't just snipe him, did you?
No.
So yeah, this is what we've got so far. Talk of sexy ladies, talk of smudges. Not much talk from Alan.
I'm still here.
Oh, Paul Voigt. There you go. You are demonstrating you are lying because by using the drop, you are misrepresenting the model. Liar. No, Paul, I'm going to call you on that. You can present to us when you're ready with the molten iron evidence supporting self-perpetual creation of electricity. You can demonstrate why drop is incorrect because I am actually representing your model. You lot all told the flat earthers to use the refracted hidden value. That's nonsense, Paul. That's lies. It's literally science fiction nonsense that doesn't exist. And do you know how we know that? Let me share my screen again, please, Nath. If you wouldn't mind, if you wouldn't mind presenting me to everybody whilst I show Paul this nonsense that he believes to be true and therefore I'm misrepresenting in some way. Okay, Paul, we're going to talk about this diagram at the bottom. And as you can see, Paul, and for the benefit of everybody else in the chat, Paul says that I'm misrepresenting their argument, okay, their model. So we have the horizon distance and it's given a value of A. We have bulge given a value of B, an obscured height given a value of X, a distance given a value of D, a radius given a value of H, and the observer height given a value of, radius given R, and the viewer height or the observer height given a value of H. Now, when we look up here, we don't see anything in these numbers up here to identify the values that we're looking at down here. Seems to be deliberately confusing. However, I was told by Dazza the cameraman, you know, the reliable source that he is, the refracted hidden value is the one that we use. As time's gone by, I've never challenged it because I just accepted his word that it was true. However, when we're observing these things in the real world, all we want to know about is how much behind the curve it's actually dropped. The only value we're interested in is the drop. So all of this other nonsense doesn't have any labels to it for us to be able to work it out. And even if it did, we don't need to know what the horizon is because we're not interested in that part. It's nice to know, but we don't need it. We're not interested in the refracted hidden because we don't even know what the hidden value is because it doesn't identify it on the labels on the diagram below. There is no value on here anywhere for the refracted hidden or the hidden, whichever. And the refracted dip or the horizon dip, again, there is no value on here whatsoever. All this is literally nonsense, Paul. And this is your accepted, believed, and trusted model, and it doesn't even identify it on the label underneath. Why is that? So am I misrepresenting your model, or am I showing that your model is literally nonsense? At the very least, I would expect this value, horizon, to be identified. So you could argue that it would be this one, but it gives the value A, but there's no A up here. But let's just say that we give it to you. We'll give you the horizon one because at least the word's there. And we have the word bulge. So this will be this bit denoted by B. No B on there whatsoever. Drop. Well, where's drop? We have something called obscured and it has the value of X, but we don't have drop there, do we? Why is that, Paul? Is it because they don't want us to be looking at drop and this is all obfuscation to confuse the matter? Shouldn't the value D or drop be the word obscured? And shouldn't the word drop here have the value X or D, whichever you're going to go with? Yes, of course it should. Hidden. Where would the word hidden appear anywhere in this diagram, Paul? The answer is it doesn't. So what does hidden refer to, Paul? Anybody looking at this diagram or just accepts people like Dazza the cameraman when he told you and never questioned it because it just appeared to be true, you know, like we live on an apparent globe, then, you know, that's the way it is. Why would you challenge it? But then
Hey,
you
Spurs.
realize it's
How you
nonsense. Spurs?
Hello?
Speak, Spurs.
Spurs about to get kicked.
Speak, Spurs. Unlucky Spurs. So ultimately, Paul, this diagram isn't matching anything that we see. So all we can conclude from this, Paul, the only value that flat earthers are interested in is how much it's dropped behind the curve of the earth. And that, my friend, is the value of drop. So we're left with, is it the drop value or is it this refracted drop value? Well, we know the effects of refraction are negligible. Would you like the reference and the citation, Paul? Here it is. Bring it up for you. It's this document here. Oh, no, it's the other one. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one, yeah. This is an MIT paperwork, paper, Paul, and it says clearly, under standard circumstances, the effects of refraction are negligible. And should we get the word negligible? Because Paul struggles with words. He doesn't understand big words. So if we go with negligible, this is the meaning of the word that negligible is so small or unimportant as to not be worth considering.
Can you hear us?
Or
True Seeker?
insignificant.
Can you say hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Spurs?
Real person at last.
Going straight on mute though.
Oh, we said hello.
I'm not sure he satisfied the test enough there though.
How you doing, Truth? You're going to say a bit more than just one word?
Yeah, I got car noise right now, so I'm trying to be
No worries.
courteous.
I thought I recognised your voice, but just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, it broke up as he spoke. Spurs, if you want to join, I'll add you on Skype. Or Nathan, do you want to add him on Skype?
Oh, was it what? It was Spurs. I'm really sorry, mate.
It was Spurs. Yeah,
just ring my Skype number and I'll just answer it, and you'll be part of the call. Just ring me. Can't seem to find.
Yeah, Spurs, just ring Nathan on Skype. So, what we know the effects of refraction, Paul, are negligible and not worth considering. So, if we don't need to consider it, why should we consider it? There's no science for it. The science from MIT says it's not worth considering. So, on that basis, Paul, we can dismiss it. It's that simple. So that leaves us with just a drop, Paul, and that is not misrepresenting. That is not misrepresenting your model, Paul.
How you doing?
It's your obfuscation of the model that is nonsense. That is why we apply 2.37 miles for the curvature, because that's what it is. Thanks, Nathan.
What Spurs is called? What letters does Spurs' name begin with on
K?
K. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Spurs, you need to put your name on there so that we can find you easily.
I'm adding him. He's going to be in 10 seconds. There we go.
I added him.
Well done. You beat me to it by about 3 seconds.
Yay!
There we go. Hello, Spurs. Sorry I kicked you.
Hiya.
Hello.
That's all right.
All right. So let me respond to Paul again in chat. Paul says that, see, you just demonstrated that you are lying about our model because you are insisting on using drop. That's because it is the drop, Paul. That's all we're interested in. We're not interested it's on there. And even if we were interested in it, we can't identify the values because they're not labeled. How bad is that model if it's not even labeled, Paul? I mean, come on, you might as well have a Girl Guides map to denote the height of someone's observation point. No refraction. So where's Ramsey? Well, Paul, your position is that the whole of Isle of Man has loomed up from behind the horizon. Okay? Ramsey hasn't loomed up behind the horizon, has it, Paul? However, we do see evidence that there is something obstructing the line of sight to Ramsey. I'll have to share it again for the benefit of everybody, seeing as though he's getting a lot of airtime. Nathan, if you wouldn't mind presenting me, I'm sorry. So we have the composite, which would be there. We make the composite a bit bigger for the benefit of everybody else. And Ramsey is, in this area here where there appears to be nothing but seawater. This is where the Isle of Man appears to stop. Ramsey, the town, sits just in the horizon here. Now, guess what? We can't see it, but we see there's evidence of some kind of mirroring or refracted something or other. Now, there is no science to explain this, boys and girls, because we don't live on a flat plane according to science, and they don't tell us what this actually is if it's on a flat plane. We call it some kind of refraction or mirroring or bendy light or dirty air. We don't really know.
I call that a smudge.
Well, we'll call it a smudge, but it bangs back on itself, and we know that it doesn't do that in real world. So we know that the town of Ramsey sits below this mirroring. And whatever's going on here, oddly, it hasn't been loomed up again behind the horizon. Yet Paul's position, of course, is that all of the Isle of Man has loomed up from behind the horizon, including Ireland in the background, that all of this has loomed up and it makes it look flat. Now, the only thing that supports his argument is that if you had enough zoom on a clear enough day, you could see your own arse in the telescope. Because that does support that assertion. Because all the light would be bending further around the Earth. I mean, it would support that assertion, Paul. But obviously, we find that ridiculous. We find that there is no looming up here. We see it because there is nothing there to stop us from seeing it. No atmosphere, no refraction, no looming, no horizon block, no mirroring, no nothing. We just see it because it's there. So to answer your question again, Paul, for the 10th time, Ramsey is sat behind this mirrored layer here because it's very, very low. And we know that because we can go to the thing, we can see where Ramsey is, and we can see that the elevation of Ramsey is practically, well, there's a football field and it sits at 35 feet. There's another one, 39 feet. And this is the town of Ramsey. I mean, this part over here, 35 feet. This bit here, 78 feet. So all this part of Ramsey here, it's all low, 19 feet. So we'll try this bit.
So refraction obscures things. There's no curvature.
Yeah, refraction. Refraction is what you guys call curvature. Us people, the normal people in the world, say, well, actually, it's stopping us from seeing Ramsey. But your position is that it's all being loomed up from behind the horizon. Well, if that's the case, well, where's Ramsey, Paul? You need to answer that yourself with the science. But if Ramsey is there, then that means the land to the right is Isle of Man. No, it doesn't, Paul. That's a logical fallacy. It makes sense, but can you prove it's true? And I'll show why that in a sec. You're a moron. Are you stupid or something? Well, I'll tell you what, let's talk about it.
How are you doing?
Hello.
Good to have you.
Which logical fallacy?
We can hear you and see you. Good to see you.
Hello.
Bit quiet. Maybe it's just volume related. Let's see. You try again, Ken?
If I can just... Yeah, I can just about hear him.
How you
You
going,
hear me
Dark
okay?
Star?
Yeah?
Good to have you as well.
Hey, how's it going?
How you going, Darker? Can you say hello? Darker Star, can you say hello? Oh.
He was on before he got ejected.
Got a couple of managed to snipe out one of the guests, new guest. I'm really sorry. Somebody joined just to get rid of you because apparently we're not allowed to talk to anyone other than people boycotting us who don't want to talk to us. So interesting turn of events, but try again tomorrow. You won't be able to rejoin this show because you've been removed by a sniper. Sorry.
Yeah, they sniped him too.
Sniped who?
Tim.
Unreal.
He's got girly ankles, though. That's okay.
Oh, so it wasn't you that's removed
So I
him.
just want to put this kind of out there because I was speaking with Al K, and he said he went to St. Bees, and he was saying that he couldn't see all of the island. So I was asking him, how much of the island could you see? And he says, well, you couldn't see the lighthouse at the end, for sure, on a regular day. He thinks you can only see Ramsey, and I can't quite remember how far to the left, but he's saying that you must have had special conditions to see what you saw on that day. And I was saying, well, are we really seeing the object? Is it really there? He wouldn't really answer that, but why do you think he didn't get? For me, the answer was obvious, but he wants to say to you that he couldn't get the island, so therefore it's not repeatable. So therefore, you must have had a special condition.
That Spurs is a really, really good question, and this essentially is the answer to the question. But the ballers are not going to like it. We know that visibility is the distance that we can see things based on the atmosphere. I could see Ireland. He couldn't. He could only see. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see it. He could only see so far. So he could see anywhere along here, but he couldn't see there. And that's the problem. So whatever this land that I'm seeing, he's only seeing somewhere around here. And it could be there or it could be there, but he's not seeing far enough to see it. And that was exactly what I predicted would happen. I said, no, It'll be good when they go back and do their observation, because if they do their observation, unless they get the same clarity of the atmosphere, in other words, the reduction of the obstruction known as the moisture and the dirt and the pollen and the smog and all that stuff blocks what we see over distance.
Dirty.
Well, that's precisely what I said. But he said he was there all day, and he failed to get much of the Isle of Man. So he couldn't get where.
So tell him to try the next 30 days, and probably one of those 30 days he'll get the conditions.
So what he's going to be getting during the day?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to hear your response. I mean, for me, that's understandable. It doesn't matter if he's there all day or all week. If he doesn't have the right conditions, he's not going to see it. But I think he wants your response, because he's saying that he wasn't able to repeat it. Yes.
Yeah, and he won't. Because,
so therefore,
as I said from day one, it was just a very clear day. But when you look at the actual science behind what we can see, the atmosphere, looking through the atmosphere, we can see that there are 4 values. There are pressure, and there are. So we start with the absolute temperature against the geopotential altitude, and then the other 2 values are pressure and density, and they're a continuous variable. They're a continuous variable, which is why we get the Skunk Bay footage. So when we look at the Skunk Bay footage, this is exactly what we see. Favorite videos, because it comes up a lot. We see on the Skunk Bay footage that we see a continuous variable. We see that the landmass in the foreground stretches and shrinks. That's the continuous variable on the vertical pressure altitude, or whatever the phraseology was. And what in the background, you can see this mound that basically, as the visibility reduces, you can't see it. I mean, that makes sense. We can all understand that if it's clear enough, you can see. If it's misty, you can't. And that's what happens with Al. Al went back and did the observation, and he was there for hours. And all that's going to be happening is his visibility is going to be varying like that. So sometimes he sees a bit further, but because he's not seeing far enough, he can't see that he's seeing further. But it's just continuously varying like that based on the visibility. Now, on my day, it was just a very, very clear day. Like I said from the start, I could see further. But Al's gone back and he's got this far, not produced the evidence, hoped it would go away, and thinks that it's okay that he holds on to evidence that's contrary to his opinion, rather than release it and say, look, I couldn't see it. And that's really what he should say. He should say that I could not see that land. And the reason is because he couldn't see far enough. Now, that's not my fault. I haven't been dishonest. It's just that the atmosphere was kinder to me because I had a clear day. So Al's seeing somewhere like this. That's all that's happening. He's looking along there. But for some reason on my day, it was just clear. That's all it was. So that's the answer to the question. Al could not see far because the visibility was less and there's no curvature.
Yeah, funny how curvature comes and goes with the weather, isn't it?
I mean, what do you think, Spurs? Is that a fair enough explanation for why he didn't see it?
I was trying to set the benchmark with him. I was saying, well, tell me how much of the island do you see when you went there? And he was like, he wasn't being very clear. So he was saying, I can see Ramsey and then so far to the left. So I was like, could you see the lighthouse that we saw? He's like, no, absolutely not. No chance. No way. Not from where, on a regular day or, well, I don't know what he means by a regular day, but.
Well, here's the thing, though. Jeremy's claiming
Yeah.
that I was lying because of the observer height, right? But Al K has gone back to repeat the observation and not got that land in the background. Now, he hasn't released that info as far as I know. And if he has, I stand corrected. But it doesn't appear to have released it. And is that honest? If you get evidence that's contrary to your opinion that supports the opposition, which it clearly does, is it honest to not release that so that we can all see it?
Can I add a little piece to this story here? Because when this observation was being made, Anthony was on the phone back and forth to me, telling me about what he was observing and what he wasn't observing and how good the weather was and full updates. You know, we were in fairly close contact while he was up there. And one day he phoned me up and went, I've caught curvature. I've seen it. I've seen the curve of the Earth. I've seen it. And he presented it to me and I smugly smiled and went, yeah, great. I mean, later I explained that that's really handy information because it shows how optical observations get co-opted into curvature. Now, what a funny coincidence, because guess who released exactly the same observation that Anthony Riley managed to replicate optically? Well, Miles Davis. He's produced exactly the same footage I saw back in October, but at the time, Anthony came forward on my show, and you can still look it up, it's called something along the lines of Curvature Found by Anthony Riley, and he presented it as looking like curvature. Now, swiftly, he went back on a different day and got a totally different observation on a clearer day. But he presented it as contrary evidence to his viewpoint, which was he was presenting it to me categorically as I can see the curve. He couldn't. It was just an optical effect. But it was great that he presented it because it gives people the journey. How have people been fooled into thinking that we see curvature? It's nice and easy to demonstrate. Once you've gone out and spent days and days and days looking at various different things with your P900, the objective being to get a tower of 50 miles away, and not the Isle of Man. I mean, this is luck. You know, it's great that we've got this, but by the same token, you know, it could be any of hundreds of thousands of millions of images that people have gone out and got on a clear day that destroy the globe. But just most people aren't aware of them. In this instance, we were lucky to have Shane, or Ranty, go through some old videos that he had been sent in the same way I'd been sent them. And he went, I think you've got something really interesting here. And that is how the story has expanded. But I bet there's hundreds of observations like this that people have got on their computers that they knew they'd got a really clear day. They just didn't give it much thought when they took their photographs or made their video, just like Anthony.
But the thing is, at some point in this hangout, and I don't know the timestamp, but I challenge anybody to go and prove me wrong, because in this hangout, my words were, if you came to this point and you looked at this point that I was looking at, you would leave thinking that the Earth was curved, because that's a logical perception based on what I
Are you
could
trying to
see.
show something? Because all I've got up on your screen is your desk and nothing else. Shared the wrong screen.
Say that again.
Are you trying to share a screen?
Yeah, am I on the wrong
You're
screen?
sharing the wrong screen.
I should have the mixer, your mixer.
Yeah, is that what you've got?
Yeah, this is the video. Flat Earth United, curvature found by Anthony
Sorry,
Riley.
my apologies. I just saw like a desk and I thought that was yours and it's mine on a video. Okay, sorry, my bad.
No, it's all right. That must have been a head mess. All right, so on the 2nd of June, so I went twice. I went, it must have been around this time because it was within a day or two. But I went twice, once in June, once in October. So this is on the first time. And I said to Nathan, the observation that I did that day is the same one that Miles has done, and he's come back claiming it's curvature, which is totally, to be fair to Miles, it's totally perceptible. You can perceive that and accurately say, yeah, that does look like curve, because as they rightly pointed out, that you could change your elevation and you could see more. Yeah. However, elevation, go on. See more. Yeah. However, oh, I'm getting feedback from Alan. I'll just mute Alan because I'm getting feedback of my own voice. So yeah, Miles has come back and he's observed this patch of land down here, which is low-lying land at the base of a mountain. And I said to Nathan on that chat, if you went there, you would perceive this as curve. However, if you put mega zoom on it, you wouldn't, because you would realize that what he was observing was the same thing that we were observing.
That's right. You said that you went with your wife's camera and it's got a much shorter focal length. And you were like, I found curve. And I was like, okay, well, just, go back and replicate it, and wonderful. And then you went back with your P900, and you got considerably longer focal length. And you went, no, actually not. Yeah. But if I'd have only had my wife's camera, or my girlfriend's camera, I would have, come away from it thinking I'd found the curve.
Yeah, which is exactly what Miles has done. And it's presentable because it supports curvature. It does look like curvature, it really does. But if you get a zoom lens on it and zoom right in on it, you can see that you're not looking at curvature. You're looking at this thing that's blocking Ramsey. So when Paul's saying, where's Ramsey? Well, it's the same as it's the exact same point that Miles Davis shows when he shows that when you change your elevation, you can see above this, because whatever this is, it's opaque. It seems to be mirror, but we can't see through it. But we know that there is land there called Ramsey. Well, it's the same with Miles. He changed his elevation and he could see through. Basically, he could see behind this because he was changing his angle of observation. So whatever's going on, Miles is seeing it as curvature. I thought it was curvature originally. And then when I went back with my zoom camera, I realized it wasn't. And that's the bit that Miles probably hasn't told people, that it wasn't actually curvature. It was obstruction on the horizon, which he thinks is curvature. But this is the same thing.
Yeah.
So
and
it's not curvature.
The problem with this observation is if you want to say that this is, well, it's obstructed by Earth curve, and I'm assuming that that's where they're going with that argument. We haven't actually had anybody on to present that. But if they do, what they have to present to me and the audience is that the closest observable part of the land is being obscured by Earth curve, and yet we've got Ireland in the background at 145 miles. So it's the perfect storm of refraction, but within, 20 miles, you've got something that looks like Earth curve. But the only thing that's demonstrable as refraction is where this so-called Earth curve will presumably be argued. I mean, I'm speaking for them, maybe that's not what they're going to argue at all, but I would assume that's what it's all about. It's about Earth curve and what it isn't blocking.
Well,
now, it's not blocking, it's stuff that we can identify, and we have identified it. At that point, everyone's stepped out. When it looks conclusive, it's all lined up beautifully, we can identify things, you know, the lighthouse looks like a lighthouse, it's where the lighthouse should be, it's where Islanders is behind it. It's always been asserted to be there. Everything starts to fall into place with evidence, and that's where they all bugger off. Now, from the chat, they're debating the lowlands. It's like the ugly guys at a party. You know, all the good-looking guys pair off with the good-looking girls, and at the end of the party, there's the dregs in the darkness, in the sidelines. And that's what these guys are. Fighting over the dregs, the lowlands that are closest to us, because they might get to bring a few things back if they fight really hard. It's like, come on, boys. 150 miles. Debunk that.
Oh, these are the same pictures that Miles took on his channel, and basically all I'm showing is that you can see that on the horizon there is this landmass, and as I change my elevation point, you can see that the land comes and goes. Now, this, I mean, look, you can see there that is miraging in some way, because you can see that the obstruction isn't the horizon; it's the thing that's above the horizon that's blocking it. So you know that it's not the horizon that's blocking it, it's something else. But Miles is telling everybody that this is curvature. And all of his, like the fans that he has or his subs that he has are all like, yeah, Miles, it is. Now, this is like the highest point that I got to before I got on top of this climbing frame. I kicked these kids off it and I got up there. And that's what I could see. So ultimately, what this shows is as you gain elevation, yes, you can see more land. It's not that land is not that far away. But I can see why Miles would say or perceive that this is curvature of the Earth, because it kind of does look that way. However, like on this picture, for instance, if we now zoom into the actual horizon, you can now see that the obstruction isn't the horizon itself. It's something that's sat above the horizon that's stopping us from seeing what we're seeing. And I don't know why it does it. There is no science for this because we don't live on a flat plane. But this is refraction. This is what Miles is pushing as curvature, and I agree with him. It does look that way. However, it's explained by the same reason for why we're not seeing Ramsey, Anthony. Well, we're seeing the same thing here that's blocking Ramsey. So you can't have it both ways. It's either curvature as per Miles, but then Ramsey has not been limbed back up. Or it's not curvature and it's simply obstruction at the horizon, the way we argue it, which is mirroring or refraction or reflection or dirty air or whatever it is that's going on here. It's that's the reason for why Ramsey has not been brought back up from behind no curve. We're not seeing curvature or looming. We're seeing just something blocking the horizon.
Cool. I'm going to do a quick link if you don't mind. So, somebody's dropped off the call. Hopefully there'll be very little chaos while I do this link. Hope you're enjoying the debate thus far. There's about an hour left on this broadcast. If you did want to join the debate to express your views on the shape of the Earth, simply click the link in the info box below this video. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected. And if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using socks. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. As I say, we have about an hour left. So one more time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Hello, Frank James. How you doing? Straight on mute. I assume that person had joined just because they thought I'd still be doing my intro. My link. But yeah, I kept it short. Just for you. Oh, I managed to snipe out Sleeping Warrior, I think. He's still there?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought he'd sniped you out.
No, I don't. I think I must have come in my Superman cape because I don't think I can be sniped at this point. I might be wrong.
Cool.
Ranty would know. Ranty might be able to give me a yes or a no, because he would know whether I can or not. But in any event, yeah, Miles was showing this as curvature, and to be honest, it's not totally dishonest. It would match his observations, but what is dishonest is if Al-Kay and Miles have gone back and got evidence that's not supporting their observation, to not release that is dishonest. Yet Jeremy claims that I'm being dishonest because of the observer height, which is claimed by your model. So who's being dishonest here? Am I being dishonest for claiming the value that your model claims, or is Al K and Miles being dishonest for refusing to release information that damages their own position? That is dishonest.
What do you reckon to my ugly girls at the end of the party analogy?
I was having a private conversation off mic. I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
So what do you reckon to my ugly girls at the end of the party analogy? So this lowlands in amongst the refractive band, the dirty air, whatever you could want to call it. That's the dregs. That's the leftovers.
Yeah. Yeah. The 2 o'clock girl in the nightclub, right? Yeah. Oh, Jem, because I deliberately lied about your position. Right, Jem. I never said anything about precision with regards to the second video. I said it could be anywhere along there. I can't remember where I took it. I just know that the one was taken at the lower point, one was taken at the higher point, and you can have anywhere in the middle. That's my position, and I stand by that position. If it turns out I was at the top, it's not a lie, Jem, because I said I didn't remember where I took it from.
But he's had someone from his side go back. You know, I'm sure you will go back at some stage. There's no rush now, but ultimately he's got someone on his side that could verify all of this information really easily.
And they have verified it. And they verified that they failed to match the observation because of the visibility didn't let them. That's what they proved. But they won't prove it. They won't release the information because it damages their model, damages their perception and their views and their belief. Look at Jeremy there. Anthony lied. Lol liar. Lol liar. No, Jeremy. I was crystal clear all the way through. And it's not. I didn't even make a mistake. I had made the admission that I couldn't remember where exactly I took it. You know, and I said you could have anywhere up to there.
I think
and
I
we
remember.
Even gave you 100 feet.
I think I remember Gem Panda giving me this example. So he was talking about when people were doing the moon test, you know, with the cold light, alleged cold light from the moon. Well, he said that it would fall victim to selective reporting. So the example he gave was Jaren. So Jaren actually came out and released his null result, whereas lots of other people only released their positive result. So he said that there's a chance that someone would do the test, fail, or get a null result, or, you know, not the result that they were expecting, and they just wouldn't release the information. Whereas the people who get the result they want would definitely publish it. So you've got sort of biased reporting. Well then, now here we are with a, you know, a really critical observation. And have we had the full details released? Is this selective bias reporting, Gem? You know, we can't study the, you know, the observation that verifies what we're all arguing about. I haven't seen it. I've seen a tiny snippet of something. And it looked like it was exactly the same observer position to me, like identical.
I am being dishonest because I am refusing to release my footage and your metadata. All right, so you lied about your viewing height. Okay, so I applied the viewing height value that your model gives me, Paul. That's not a lie. Okay, it's your model. If your model doesn't do what you think it does, your problem's with your model. It's not with me.
Maybe you can tell us from the chat why we shouldn't apply that model, because that's what we've applied. Tell us, why would you not apply Google Earth when testing Earth as a sphere?
Because there is a problem with the size of the sphere that they say we live on, Nathan. Haven't you worked it out yet? Dude, come on. Anyway, the first part says, you are being dishonest because you are refusing to release your footage. No. And your metadata? Yes. Because I asked Jeremy, if I released it in front of him, live on the screen, if I released it and it supported my position, would he accept it? And I was literally sat there. I had the property screen ready to click the open button. And he said, no. It's falsifiable. The EXIF data is falsifiable. So why would I introduce evidence that's falsifiable just to allow you lot to say that I've lied about it when Jeremy has already said that he wouldn't accept it? It doesn't benefit anybody. EXIF data is easily falsifiable. So you're making a nonsense claim there, Paul. Again, not releasing your metadata as dishonest, Riley. No, it isn't. It's falsifiable evidence. It doesn't mean anything. Google Earth is not precise to the nearest square meter. You dense fool. Okay, so apparently it can be up to 30 meters out. Now, I could agree with you on 30 meters at, say, 4,000 feet of elevation. But If we're only talking 30 feet of elevation, you're not going to get a 30-meter discrepancy, are you? It's only going to be on the highest peaks of Mount Everest and stuff like that that you might get inaccuracies. You're not going to be getting it at sea level. Because Google Earth is a rough tool. Might be a rough tool, but it's also your working model. Your so-called working model. Al-K, can you please release your evidence showing what you did see that day with regards to the Isle of Man claim, please? You can't keep withholding it. It will be dishonest of you because it damages your position. Al-K is a fraud. He absolutely is. He's hiding information that damages his model because he doesn't want it to be out there.
Surely you'd want to show us this curvature that's now obscuring, you know, now the hologrammatic effect is not in place with this bad weather that he had.
Sure. You would expect, you would want him to, you would think that he would be all over debunking me, wouldn't he? But so far they've had an hour long out of, I mean, I don't know how they got an hour out of windmills, but they got an hour out of windmills or wind turbines. And then probably 40 minutes or so on this curvature thing. I mean, where's the debunking evidence, guys? Al-K's gone up and failed to debunk me. That means it's Al-K's failure. Miles Davis's failure. Joe Jury's failure. Riley's pictures video aren't raw, so it can be dismissed on Sleeping Warrior's own standards. Riley's pictures video aren't raw. No, the video itself is the evidence. This is what we were saying before. The evidence is the video. The composite is simply used to try and, you know, spot stuff. It's easier to use a composite than it is for anything else. The video is what is the proof.
Yeah, you don't even have to use it as a composite. You know, if you wanted to say, okay, well, let's just use one individual frame of the video, then you've not altered a thing. You know, the fact that it's stitched together just means you can buzz up and down it quicker when people, well, you know, normally when you get to something like Lagness Lighthouse at 51 miles and Ireland behind it at 145 miles, that's normally the point that they want to distract you and take you down to the north end of the island where stuff's, you know, obscured by refraction. That's what they normally want to do. So you've got to be able to conveniently buzz up and down as people try and distract and obfuscate from the actual point. You know, that's needed for you guys. I mean, I could just single frame. Oh, hi, Chris. How you doing? Good to have you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. That wasn't me, by the way. That was not me.
Yeah, it was.
I know who it was, but it wasn't me.
Well, even PMAS thought it was you.
I'll take you at your word, Chris. Fair enough.
PMAS is wrong.
I'll take you at
I
your
just
word.
wanted to come on, Anthony, to ask you to present your metadata.
What would you, if it supported my position, would you accept it?
Absolutely.
And what if it didn't support my position? Would you say that I'd faked it to make it look
No,
like
I would not. No, I would not.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll release my metadata if Miles Davis and Al-K release their video. Is that fair?
Not particularly, because that's got nothing to do with me. But I'm sure Alan Miles would probably
It's called a
oblige to
conditional
that.
acceptance.
Second,
what he's done is he's
you
accepted
guys
your offer.
you guys call Soundly a weasel, right?
So what? You're now
Soundly
distracting.
No,
Hold on,
has
he's offered you conditional
available on a Google
acceptance.
Drive.
Do you understand what that
Right,
means, Chris? You've asked him for something, and he's conditionally accepted. You understand?
And I'm just about to add a second term.
No, just please Nathan, please let me finish.
And the second term,
please let me finish. Please let me finish. Soundly releases, puts all his videos on a Google Drive, available for anyone who cares to look. Now, within those files, you can find the metadata. So why do you not do the same, Anthony?
Because it's falsifiable and it doesn't add to my cause.
What do you mean it's falsifiable? What do you mean you can be falsified?
Change it.
You can change the EXIF data very easily.
Yes, you can change it. But
So how
see
does
if
it
you
benefit
did
me
that.
when-
But see if you did that, Anthony, then you'd be caught.
Right, okay. But here's the thing. I
don't think you will. I don't think you are going. You would change it. I do not think you would change it.
Okay. Well,
So
I'll
why not release it?
I will release the metadata if Al-K and Miles release their evidence that shows what they did see that day. And
Alan Miles have released lots of stuff. Have you not seen Miles's stuff?
Let me finish. There is a second requirement to it, that Jem Panda publicly apologises for all of the nonsense when he was calling me out.
What's
This observer
that
had
got to
nonsense.
do with the price of fish?
Because I'm in control here.
You're adding more and more conditions.
Yeah, because I can do. You're asking me
Why? It's
can
got
do what he
nothing to
likes.
do with me.
He can do what he likes.
you make
He can
it-
But do you
literally
know
do what he
what?
likes.
Do you know what?
Like
I
you
think
can come on
Jem
and
might
ask him
even
to release
oblige that
metadata.
just to get you to release this metadata. I think Al will oblige, and I think Miles will oblige.
Yeah, we don't have to do anything. You can ask for
I don't
what
want
you
to
like.
speak for Jeremy, but I don't want to speak for Jeremy. But you know, and the apology would be meaningless because he has nothing to apologise for.
Anyway, we've got the conditions set down. You don't have to accept them. That's it.
What
So-
statement? Sorry, what's this statement you're talking about?
There's
The least he
been
can
a
do is
conditional
retract the
acceptance.
statement.
That's it. End of requirements for
What
any further
statement? I'm
arrangement.
sorry, I don't know what statement you're referring to.
Sorry,
Anyway.
me and Nathan kept speaking over each other.
Sorry.
I will release my EXIF data for all of the files, and I can do it live. If Jeremy retracts the statement that in some way I've lied about any part of this, because I've only added.
But why? But you have lied, Anthony, because it's quite clear that you were not 32 feet high.
It's not my problem. That's not my lie.
Yes, it is.
That's what it says on
No.
Google.
It's
No,
been
that's what Google Earth
demonstrated
says.
that you were over 32 feet high.
So is Google
Even
wrong?
the ordnance
So that's what
survey
Google
maps,
says. Is
backs
Google
that
wrong?
up. Miles's observations back that up. Al's observations back that up. The
Miles
only
hasn't been-
reason you're
Hang on,
sticking. So
don't know how high he
Anthony,
is.
the only
Hang
reason.
on, what's
Please
Miles?
let me finish. I'm almost about to finish. The only reason you're claiming 32 feet or 30 whatever, 34 feet, 32 feet, whatever it is because you thought you struck gold when you saw that Google Earth said you were at 32 feet.
Not at all.
Yes, that's well.
No.
Where did you get your elevation from, if not from Google Earth?
I got it from Google Earth, but that was nothing.
Of course,
to do
you
with-
got it from Google Earth. But
No,
as
dude,
you well know,
listen.
as you well know, Anthony, the maximum resolution of Google Earth's station height is 30 meters.
Yeah, and that's not going to be 30 meters inaccurate. At
I may
30
be wrong in that. I
30
think
feet, is it?
Jem can correct me on that.
Sorry, hold on a second, Anthony.
Jem,
Sorry, can you just repeat that just one more time?
right, me.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Just want to hear you tell us how broken
As
Google is.
far as I know, the elevations from Google were taken from an STS mission that used the shuttle to and radar that took horizontal and vertical measurements. As far as I know, that had a resolution of 30 meters. I'm not sure. Jem, maybe help me out in the chat here. What was the resolution?
Sorry, the point is, are you saying that Google is not useful for this purpose?
Google is not accurate for elevations. Correct.
Thanks. That's
Okay.
really useful
However,
to know. Thank you.
Ordnance Survey
That's really useful to know.
is-
Thank you. We're testing Google. You realise that, right?
Google is irrelevant.
No, that's what we're testing. We don't care what you think's relevant. That's
You're
what
not
we are testing.
Google Earth. The elevation is
No,
entirely
We are.
superfluous to Google Earth. It
And can I
doesn't.
just correct what
Google
you
Earth is not.
Can I just
Google
can I
Earth.
correct your misrepresentation? When I thought I struck gold, it wasn't on the basis of the observer height being inaccurate on Google Earth. It never crossed my mind. What I perceived,
Right.
my striking of gold was
Are
like
you
the island.
seriously telling me that you thought when you went up that bloody cliff that you were 32 feet high? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Are you seriously expect us to believe that?
How high is it?
I'm not.
How high
I'm
is the
not
cliff?
experienced at height.
How high is it?
Why would I have a view?
It's between 28 and 33 meters high.
Can you show me a
Why
measurement,
would I have a
please?
view?
Hold on. Can you show me some sort of proof to back up that assertion?
Paul Voight is showing you proof.
No.
And Rumpus is showing you proof.
No. He's
On
shown
an
me something
ordnance survey
on.
map.
He's shown me an ordnance survey map. So we've since had somebody go back.
I can't screen share. I'm on my phone. I can't
seen
show
it.
the ordnance
I've been up to
survey
my
map,
screen
but
and
you
looked.
have seen it many, many times.
Yeah, I've
Paul
seen the
and
ordnance
Rumpus
survey
have
map
presented
since-
it many, many times. You've
Since
seen
then,
it. You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
you don't have to keep repeating yourself. Since then,
So
Miles Davis
I'm here.
and
all
Al
I'm here
Kay-
for, Nathan.
Stop
All I'm
interrupting
here
me.
for, Nathan. I'm going to
Why
leave
do you
very
keep
shortly.
interrupting me?
All
Seem
I'm
very
here
triggered.
for is
Is it
to
'cause you-
ask
is it 'cause you
Anthony
realise the
to
Earth's
present
flat?
his metadata
Is it 'cause you realise that
without
there's no
any
obstruction?
stupid
Nothing's blocking the Earth.
conditions.
No Earth curve blocking our view. You realise? Is that why you're so triggered?
That's irrelevant, Nathan. This is about elevation and metadata.
Specifically what this debate's about.
In fact, it's not
It's
even about
irrelevant
elevation
when we prove
anymore.
it's flat.
It's about
Seems irrelevant to you when we prove it's flat.
releasing the metadata. That's
Yeah,
all
that's
it's
just
really
a little
about.
distraction.
Now,
Doesn't change the observation at all. At all.
There's
Hey, sniper on deck.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right. Sniper on deck. Right. There's absolutely no need. I'm going to leave
sniper
shortly.
on deck's going
There's absolutely no
potentially
need for
remove
Anthony
after
to make
guests.
these.
Doesn't like
these
that Chris is telling the
ridiculous
audience that the
conditions.
thing we are testing, which is Google,
So-
is broken and doesn't work, and the STS missions weren't very
Right.
accurate.
Okay. Fine. If you want to say that, that's fine.
what you
but that's
said.
not what I'm asking.
That's what you
came
said.
on
You've
here
just
to
told us.
specifically and publicly ask Anthony Riley to present his metadata.
Yeah, and I've tried to
Anthony,
say it a couple of times.
Let me respond.
Since we've
Okay.
looked at things like Ordnance Survey maps, 2 people have been back to the observation point. So I'd like to
Yes.
see their accurate measurements. Have we got those? About GPS data, we've got that.
Sorry, I was just reading a comment by Dr.
It's all right. I can repeat what I said to you,
Jonas.
Chris. You seem to be playing dumb and deaf.
missions.
Another guy
It
with his
was.
head in the sand. Unbelievably pathetic. So just at the point that I'm asking you something
Right.
quite critical, you've got your head
That's
in the chat,
super,
have you?
Nathan.
You
But
stick your
I'm
head
here
in that sand, my
publicly-
friend. How does it feel?
Publicly.
How does it feel?
Sorry, Nathan.
How does it feel, that sand
I-
around
Hey
your
guys,
ears?
hey guys,
How's that
hey
sound?
guys, don't get angry.
I'm not getting
I'm not
angry.
getting
It's
angry.
funny how,
I'm not getting
funny how
angry.
triggered
Nathan,
Chris is, though.
Nathan, I'm here
Very
to
amusing.
publicly request
Tell people that the
Anthony
Earth is
Riley
flat with a simple
presents
observation
his
and they go
metadata
nuts.
without
Claim
any
lies,
ridiculous
claim deceit. All we're doing is looking at a picture.
caveats
Just looking
or
at a picture.
conditions.
That's all we're doing.
Anthony, will
Hey
you
Lottie,
do that?
how you doing?
Let me respond.
Hello Lottie.
Go ahead. Hello, Lottie.
Hello, Ben. Hello, everybody.
Good to have you.
Good to have you. Good to be here. Just making
Right,
sure you
let
don't
Anthony
go.
respond.
I was speaking to the guest.
Well, I'm asking you if we've got the observations from
Hang on, let me
Al-Kay
respond.
and Miles
Let me
Davis
respond.
as they've been back since we've had Ordnance Survey maps. So have they gone back and got an accurate measurement or GPS or anything
Yes.
like that?
Yes, they have. Not GPS.
Brilliant. Let us
though.
know what it is. Let's see it. Excellent.
It's on Miles's channel.
I haven't seen anything on Miles' channel about the height.
I've
It's
not
there,
seen that about
believe
the
me.
height either.
It's
So what-
there. I watched it. I watched it
what was
all.
the
Tell
height?
us. Tell
What
us.
was the
Fill
height?
us in. We're ignorant.
Well, they did
Fill
a,
us
they,
in.
they did a rough height.
So tell us,
Al
a
Kay
rough
was
height?
on the top of the cliff. I was not the tallest guy in the world, but they did a rough measurement and it came out at about 88 feet.
How did they
So
do
it's
the rough
rough.
measurement?
It's rough, correct.
John.
It's
Hey, Sean
rough,
G, how you
yes.
doing?
But it's based on a theodolite app, Dioptra, and it's based on, and I believe Al and Miles took a laser rangefinder measurement, and they used a little bit of trigonometry to do it. And the problem with the GPS apparently is that the accuracy for elevations is not there's a right when you use GPS, right, you get an accuracy reading. So it's generally depending on how many satellites you get, you use the accuracy can be anything from 6 feet to 58 feet. You know, that was the last time I used GPS. Yeah, there you go. I physically measured it. Miles used Dioptra. Right. Miles used Dioptra, used a bit of trig to physically measure it, right? And that's why they didn't use GPS. Plus, it's not that accurate, right? It can be off by plus or minus 10 to 15 feet, right? So, now, it's entirely possible that they did take a GPS reading, but as I say, they took a physical measurement of their elevation. And then Miles did a rough measurement using Al's height, and it was consistent with their physical measurements.
All right, can I speak, please?
Proceed.
You've made a request for me to reveal
You don't have to.
EXIF data. I will oblige and comply with your request on 2 conditions. One, that Al-Kay releases the video that shows what he could see of Isle of Man. And 2,
He has.
where is it?
On Miles Davis's channel.
Can you tell me what the name of the video is?
Okay. It is Miles.
I'm going to call BS on that. I've not seen anything to do with that.
Oh, Issa Mahall's sniping everybody. Wonderful.
Oh, so he's just been sniped?
Yeah, because he's making this case. He's making the ball look terrible again.
Yeah. Right.
Hanging
Okay. So
the
while he's
ball.
gone and I can speak freely,
He's now telling us
will
how
really-
inaccurate GPS is. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd
This
have
is what I was
sniped him
going to
too
say.
if
You
I was
only
a
need
baller.
a sat nav, and a sat nav with 4 satellites connected will give you your elevation. It also gives you your speed. However, I will give my GPS, my EXIF data, if 2 things are met. I'll release the video that he took off his P900, and just the video, nothing else. Like I did, just put the video and nothing else. I don't want any analysis on it. I just want to see the normal video the way I did it. Okay. And the second one is that Jeremy said, let me think, what was Jeremy's comment that I wanted him to retract? It'll come to me. Jeremy said, Jeremy can retract the comment when I said to him, if I reveal this information publicly, would you accept it? I want Jeremy to go back on that position and say, Anthony, if you release the EXIF data, I'll accept it. That's the 2 conditions.
Right. It is. Right.
Hello.
Miles Davis videos. It's 4. Sorry. All right, Steve. Right. It's.
Hey, Steve.
Can I
You're-
just,
I just have a
give
question for Anthony
Anthony
Riley. Sorry, can I just ask this question? This is
Sure.
Steve Anthony from BBC News. How does it feel to be a compulsive liar?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Miles.
No, there was a question pointed at you. I'm specifically.
I don't know
asking
what it feels like to be a compulsive liar. Perhaps you should speak to Miles Davis. He's the liar. Ranty showed him that he said on the one hand it was the
Oh, we've been
big
joined by
master.
One Stop Sniper.
We're lying,
So we've got
Ranty.
another sniper who's joined us. Wonderful. Another sniper's going to kick everyone out. One Stop Gaming, or whatever he's called. Marvellous. See how many guests get kicked.
Issa sent me a message on Skype saying, can you please clarify that that is not the real Issa Mahalski? It is a sock account.
Yeah, no worries. It's not the real Issa Mahalski. It's a sock account. As it's not the same One Stop Gaming.
It's a puppet. Right, so what's the name of the Miles Davis video?
Right. It is. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right. It's Flat Earth. Can you hear me still?
Yes, we hear you.
Right. Right. Flat Earth. Earth-shaped tourist UK trailer. Right.
Trailer. How long is the video? Oh, that one. 6 minutes, 9 seconds, yeah? Has he been sniped?
Yeah, man. Don't know why. Not me.
Right, so I found the video that he's referring to, the trailer one, and I do not see any video in it. I see stills. I see maps.
Got Ranty
Girl
in the
Guide
chat
maps.
saying there's nothing in that video. So I assume Ranty's already watched it and saying nothing in it. No, total BS.
So either you lied or perhaps you were mistaken, but in any event, what you've suggested as the video of release is not the video of release. So I'll be clear. I will release the EXIF data for all the files that are in this folder of which I've relied upon. However, Jeremy's got to retract the comment where he said that he would not accept it if I released it if it supported my position. He has to say that. Otherwise, I'm not releasing it because it's falsifiable and, you know, it doesn't benefit me to release it because the next thing that will happen is you falsified it. So why would I release it? It's irrelevant to the argument anyway. And the second point is that Miles Davis or Al, whoever owns the original footage to this St. Bees thing where we were looking at the floaty land on the right-hand side, I want to see that, please. Because that's got to happen. You've got to release that information because it goes against your model. And Jeremy's got to retract that comment that he wouldn't accept it if I showed it and it happened to support my position. That comment's got to be retracted. If you don't do that, I'm not releasing the EXIF. It's that simple. And I think that's fair, given the amount of slurring that Jeremy's doing my way. I think that's fair.
So I'm going to do a quick link. This is probably where a load of snipers will pile in like crazy. So if you're new to this channel or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while it is live. Come on then, help me do my link. But most importantly, if you would like to join the debate, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box to join the discussion and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. In a moment, I'm going to transition back to the Hangout, but if you've not shared the show, please share the show on social media, as it does, of course, increase the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you are new to this channel or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. You still with us on Skype? Still got your Spurs?
Yes, I'm still here. You still alive?
Excellent.
You still there, yes?
Yeah. I was just making sure that I raised all the lines correctly.
No snitching, Spurs. Remember that. You're one of us now.
No. Snitching up against what?
Say no more, Spurs. Say no more.
I want to know what you think he's snitching about.
I think he's implying that Spurs is a double agent. That's what he's implying, I think.
Well, you know, I'm getting the opinion of the ballers. That's what I'm doing. Obviously, I don't know if it's if the baller information was meant for my ears only, then, you know, of course, if I hear something from them, I'm going to pass it on. If they say they've debunked Ireland, is it just for me, or is it for, you know, the person who made the experiment? So I don't think snitching comes into that. It's a debate.
Maybe you can fill us in, Lottie. What did you think?
I'd absolutely love to fill you in, Nathan.
Okay, that's delightful. Maybe you can tell us all about what Spurs and you are now talking about. What would he be snitching about?
Shut up. I'm just here to moderate the moderator.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hang on, aren't you part of the embargo?
No, clearly not. I've been on here several times since then, fathead. How stupid are you?
It depends. When I speak to you, I feel terrible, yeah. I feel a lot more intelligent when you're not here, if I'm honest.
You're insanely dumb. Like, I was on a couple of shows ago. Stupid fat.
So have you got anything to offer in regards to the Isle of Man, Lottie? In terms of the observation at 145 miles and Lagness Lighthouse at 51 miles? Anything to add to that discussion? Oh, bless you.
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Lottie. So have you got anything to add to the discussion regarding the 145-mile observation of Ireland?
That didn't happen.
Didn't happen? Oh, we've got a new defence, maybe. Didn't happen. Wow, this is a next level head in the sand answer, man. I want to hear this.
Lottie, do you think it's a 145-mile smudge?
I actually think it's Iceland. So I've got a different view.
Oh, or maybe Japan.
No, it's definitely Iceland.
Yeah, that's patently absurd. But yes, thank you for that, Lottie.
So is Ireland, Nathan. Football head.
Hello again, Chris. We seem to have checked that video out, and it doesn't seem to have
Nathan.
what we hoped it would
Chris.
have.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, it's the main. Let me just, because I'm going to leave very shortly. Yeah, Anthony. So I don't know why you're adding these
you push for time,
stupid
mate.
conditions.
You're in a bit of a rush.
Really not
Did you say
necessary.
Did you say you push for time?
And as I said,
you're in a bit of a rush,
I've
Chris.
gave you the titles.
Sorry, Chris. Did you say you push for time?
Yeah.
I just want to clarify how much time you've got.
Well, I wasn't going to come on for long.
Give it me in minutes.
The metadata, and
Just
I've
give it
given
me
the
in minutes,
titles
roughly.
of the
How long
videos
you got? I just want to
that,
know how big of a rush you're in, Chris. Just want to establish that. Now you've told us and the audience that you're in a rush. You can't stay long, so just give us it in minutes, roughly.
No, Rush. I just
You're not
wanted
in a rush.
to make
Why
it
did you
clear
say
to
you
the
were?
sniper
Are you a liar? Why did you say you were in a
I don't
rush?
intend to stay
I don't get
on
it.
long.
I'm very
and
confused. Very strange. Very strange, man. Why would you tell us that you're not going to stay long if you're not in any rush? That makes no sense.
so I don't get sniped. Just to tell the sniper that I don't intend to stay on for long. It's just to tell Anthony, you know, keep me. I told Anthony the names of the videos that Nathan's the Miles is as.
Can you spit it out, for God's sake, man? Try and get a decent sentence together.
I did.
Spit it out. Come on.
Right.
Nathan, sure, stop being so rude to your guests. Remember,
stuttering and mumbling, bloody hellfire. How long is it going to take to get this sentence out? Does this sentence have an end in our midst, or
Nathan,
what?
Don't be so bloody rude, Nathan.
Do as I choose. You don't seem to get that, Lottie. So, can you put a decent sentence together for us, Chris, that has a beginning, middle, and end? Is that any chance of that?
That wasn't me, you football head.
He's been removed. Don't know who. No sniper joined, so it's either Alan or Lottie.
No, they could be in the back chat, you knuckle, you absolute football head.
No, there's nobody in the back chat. Only people who join.
Okay, so let me answer the question for you. You cited a video of Miles's called the something trailer, and when we looked through the trailer, it didn't have any footage in it at all. So that's not either you've perhaps made a mistake, or if I was a baller, I'd just say, you're a liar!
I just want to address something quickly. Shut up, fathead. Truth Seeker said I'm sniping, which is incorrect. Also, shout out Coke Hyena. But I'm not the sniper.
I mean, it is a pretty big deal that for 80, however many episodes this has been running for, we get two ballers who could have ended this a long time ago by producing their videos and saying, look, we went there, here is our observations, and let's discuss. But we see the opposite. We just see, oh, we don't have time, I haven't uploaded yet, I'm getting around to it. Just the same old, they've learnt well from NASA with the same old excuses. And
no, that's called dishonesty.
So it's apparent that it's looking more and more like Ireland, if, you know, the best minds, the best ballers cannot debunk this. So,
yeah,
you know, yeah, that's the path that it seems to be going in.
The simple fact is, Spurs, that two guys went back that don't like me, which is fine, with a P900, and then nothing else as far as I can see. They didn't get GPS coordinates. They didn't get elevation data. They calculated it roughly. They got it to some ridiculous figure, which we have no way of knowing whether that's accurate or not. They did take footage, but they won't release it. If it was the case that in some way I was wrong, wouldn't that information be out there straight away without any delay whatsoever?
I address you once.
The answer, of course, is no.
You've had metadata they've requested for months and you haven't released it. And this is literally a couple of weeks later and you're demanding evidence off them. You're a hypocritical fan.
Not really. You're nitpicking about metadata, and we've got an entire video that's not been released. I think one drastically outweighs the other, and I think it's very reasonable of Anthony to give a conditional acceptance that if we see that video from Miles Davis, he will release that metadata. That is his conditional acceptance. He also wants a concession from Gem Panda.
If he wasn't such a dishonest
he also wants a concession from Gem Panda. He will retract his statement that should he release this metadata, it will be ignored.
Yeah, but hold on, sorry, Lottie, you're missing the point here. This isn't directly for, you know, Nathan or Anthony here. A lot of ballers, a lot of flat earthers are looking and waiting for Miles's and Al's results. They're saying that this could end this. You know, the discussion is, well, it's not Ireland. Well, show. So it's not just about presenting it, you know, to these guys here. The whole world, people from all over the world want to see this. The people on the Isle of Man are waiting with bated breath. Where is this video from Miles and Al-K? Yes, so it's a bit big. I think you're misinterpreting the scale, the size of how big this actually is. Yeah, the world needs to see what Miles has done. The world needs to see what Al-K has supposedly done. This is huge, and like I said, this has been running for so many. We had a guy here said, well, "Can't we change the topic? Can't we change the subject?" Well, it could be. It could be nipped in the bud.
No, they don't.
If ballers admitted,
That's all
That we
we'll
see
ever. This is
either.
all
People
that's going
want
to
to
care
see
about and hear about this.
Miles Liar Davis and Al K's footage showing that I was wrong. We want to see that. He hasn't released it. Why is that? Because it damages his position. So again, I'll say my position is if Jeremy retracts his comment that he wouldn't accept the EXIF data, if it supported my position, and Miles Liar Davis and Al Key release their video showing what they could see, then you can have your EXIF data. Until then, stop being knobheads because that's all you're doing to me. You're saying that I'm lying about this and about that and making it out as though I'm some kind of Grim Reaper. And at the end of the day,
just be careful with your language, please.
Well, what do you expect me to do? You've done nothing but name call me all the time, and I've stood here for 30 shows with Nathan, and I've took it on the chin.
You can say something, just don't swear. Just be
So
careful with your like. Shout out Rizla and Mark Taylor.
Anthony.
Yes.
Oh, Sean G's joined to snipe us all. Wonderful. So if you get sniped,
Anthony,
it'll be
can you hear
Sean
me?
G in the back chat.
I hear loud and clear.
Anthony, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Right, okay. Now that I've shown you.
You haven't shown us a video that he has released. That's not what we've seen, Chris. Sorry.
I think has he been sniped again?
Joined by Tim. How you doing, Tim?
Welcome, Tim. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here.
You need to say something.
You probably need to say something because we need to test your voice levels. Nathan, I got this. Back down. Fall back, Nathan.
Thanks, Lottie. Good to know you got my back, man.
Tim, if you could just make a quick animal noise
yourself,
or something
Lottie,
for us.
You ballers should be pressuring Miles and Al to release the video. You know, I don't understand why you're like saying, well, Miles, why don't you release the video? Why are you not showing Anthony that it's not what he says it is? I don't understand your position. You know, I mean, or Baller's position on this. There should be pressure. Why aren't the Ballers pressuring?
I'll address you as honest and best as I can. Shut up, Spurs.
These guys,
Shut up, Spurs.
Sorry?
Shut up, Spurs. Wait a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why don't you ask him? Ask him. Don't ask me, ask him. There we go. That's the answer.
Yeah, but no, he's asking why aren't you? He's asking why aren't you chasing Al, Kay, and Miles? Do you not critique your own evidence?
Shouldn't your main issue be why haven't you asked Al K? Like that should be your first pot of call. You shouldn't be here asking me, Lottie, why haven't you asked him? What was his answer? Fathead.
Well, I'm asking you as a whole because you kind of you're with the Ballers side. You kind of say I am with the Ballers. I understand the Baller argument. So if Miles has gone out to do a test on your behalf or the Ballers' behalf, why are you not asking him, well, where's this video? Why haven't you released it? It shouldn't be really the flat earthers.
All of your questions are just non-stop retarded. Non-stop, just retarded.
But what's the answer? Why haven't you asked him?
That's fine. So that's how you see it as retarded. That Ballers should ask.
I haven't. I don't.
You know, Miles for this video.
I didn't want to.
That's fine.
I haven't felt like I've had to. When he's ready to release it, he'll be ready.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I just want to understand how you understand it. That's fine. Yeah.
Sleeping Warrior, why care about Jeremy? Stop being weak. He means nothing. I don't care about Jeremy. I want Jeremy to retract his comment that if I was to release the EXIF data and it supported my position, would he accept it? I want him to retract
No, you
that comment.
are a liar anyway. You are a fathead and a liar.
So that's why I'm demanding that Jeremy retract that comment.
No, you are a liar.
Sorry, what's
your
issue? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Oh, here we go now.
I'm asking, what's
Sergeant Oakley Dokley coming in.
What's the problem?
They don't accept my conditional acceptance is exactly what the problem is.
I just wanted to have a little outburst calling you a liar, it seems. Fair enough.
Oh, yeah,
Threats,
of course.
maybe.
Jeremy says again in chat, I haven't finished with you with your lies yet. There is much more to come. No, I'm going to stand my ground on all the points I've said. The evidence stands in its own footprint on its own merits. And I have done nothing to change my position. You guys certainly haven't debunked it. And if you're going to argue about the elevation height or the observer height, you have to be reminded. In fact, actually, Nathan, if you don't mind sharing my screen, let's do this for the benefit of Jeremy because he seems to be struggling with this.
Paul
Okay,
Voigt wants to
so-
talk about the ugly girls in the north at the end of the party in that dark night. So, Paul.
That was really creepy. You should never say that again, Nathan.
Yeah, he does though. That's where he's looking at the dregs, the close stuff nearest to us. Not interested in the big prize, the diamond at 51 miles or Ireland at 145. He wants to talk about the dregs.
No, he wants to talk about the observer height, right? Let's just put this into perspective for him. Where is that thing? I'm just trying to remember what it was called. There we go. Nathan, am I being presented to everybody?
Yep.
Okay, Jeremy, this is just for you, mate. I know you don't understand it, so we'll do it slow. Now, the observer height, this is a video courtesy of Ranty. Oops, a bit too far. So the observer height, Jeremy, is this bit down here. I'm down here somewhere. This is the observer height. But to see Ireland on the far left of the picture, we're going to show you how much observer height we actually need. And it's not a cliff that's double the height, or 4 times the height, or 5 times the height, or indeed Blackpool Tower. To get what we need to see in the south side of the island, I'll speed it up a little bit. Speed up. It's not the Eiffel Tower we need to be the height at, Jeremy. It's not the height of this tall building. I can't remember what this is called. It's not this one either. It's not the Burj Khalifa. It's the Burj Khalifa with the second tallest building in the world on top of the Burj Khalifa. That's what we need in elevation height to see what we can see at St. Bees when we're looking at Ireland in the south. We need to be at that observer height. So when you're arguing about 10 or 15 feet or meters down here, Jeremy, and you're using it to support the assertion, your constant abuse of me based on the word liar, Jeremy, let's put it into context. Even if it was a lie, what difference does it make? Because this is the observer height we need to see what we can see on a ball. So let's even just for the sake of discussion, let's say I was wrong, and let's say I deliberately added or removed a couple of feet. Still, what your model says. You need an awful lot of observer height, though, Jeremy. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Carry on.
Okay, that was dumb as usual.
Yeah, that's called perspective.
Okay, I mean, where do we begin? Okay, shout out. I think I'll shout out some people. This is literally boring as hell as usual. So we're going to shout out Rebel Rebel. We're going to shout out
Got nothing to
Jimmy
address
Woodstock.
this. He's just made an assertion, and your response to that, Lottie, is to shout people
My
out in the
response
chat.
to that is he's this is garbage, and he's garbage, and you're garbage.
Stuttering and calling it
Everything
garbage.
you
That's
do
the best you can do.
Trash. Trash.
Wow.
Shouldn't even be allowed.
So
This should
conclusive
be stopped.
debunking. Well done, Lottie. Good to have you here.
I'll shout out Chris.
There
He's
you
done
are.
well
You
today.
literally are going to just
Thanks
shout
for coming
people
in.
out rather
But
than
if you don't
addressing
come
that.
back-
So,
if you come back,
wow. I'm
back,
amazed,
you'll be sniped.
Lottie.
Shout out Jamie
Total
Woodstock.
and utter
Shout out
denial.
JJ.
Literally, head
Shut
in
up,
the
Nathan.
sand.
Oh my god.
You realise your head's in the sand, though, right? You're just
No, but
ignoring
it's,
it.
it's good. No,
Shout out.
Nathan, it's good because it's true
Paul Voigt.
cognitive dissonance. This is exactly
too
what
smart to be
happened.
Shout out the rest of my failures who failed to debunk this. Shout out the other guy who's failed this. Failed. Any other failures in the chat you're going to shout out? Shout out all the people who failed. Lottie, give a shout out to everyone who's failed to debunk this.
Nathan, I'm going to start my shout outs to ask you what your question is. What was your question?
Nah, carry on, man. Shout out all the people who have failed to debunk this observation. Keep going, man. You've got Paul Voigt so far. Who else you going to shout out?
I did say, Nathan, I did say I would address your question, so I will. They have debunked it. You've had, shut up, fathead, don't get involved.
Shout out to GeoStreamer claiming that he's debunked it and he hasn't.
You've had GeoStreamer, Rumpus.
Shout out to Rumpus.
Shout out to Rumpus who failed to debunk it as well.
Didn't
Well
understand
done.
it.
Can't add up.
Got an empty football head. That's
That's
it.
your shout
Remember,
out. Come on, keep it going, man. Focus on the shout outs, Lottie. You're not being a good co-host. Focus on the shout outs.
To 12-year-olds, you buffoon.
Keep shouting them out, man. All
Just
these
seven.
failures who failed to debunk it. I want to hear all their names read out by you, my friend.
No, you understand it because you're so stupid.
Shout out
Shout
to
out
Ratio
Ratio
Perfect for
Perfect.
the super chat. Thank you very much,
Lottie is a
Ratio
kid you
Perfect.
can with a K. I don't know if I can. How would you pronounce Lottie? Is a quoont? Quoont? Quoont?
No,
Can you
that's the
see
best
that?
Shout them out,
secret that
Lottie. Let's
someone's ever
hear them,
said.
man. These failures want to hear their
Nathan,
name said, man. The people who
shout
fail
out,
to debunk
shout
it
out.
need to be acknowledged.
Sleeping
And you're here
Warriors
to
side
acknowledge these
piece, Karen
failures.
Pico Train. Stop right now.
Dot
Mash up.
Ranau's failed to debunk it, has he?
Anyone
Excellent.
else?
Captain Bullshit, you failed to debunk it. Shout out to you, my friend.
No, he
Roger MC,
proved that
total failure. Can't debunk
Riley's
anything.
a liar.
Shout out to
Captain
you,
Bullshit,
Lottie.
actually.
You failed to debunk it, Lottie. You're a failure. Shout out to you.
He actually proved that Riley is a liar because it was never 30 degrees last year. So he was a complete liar at all. So he's a liar. He lied. Shut up, fathead. Oh my goodness.
Nate, can you check Skype, Nate?
Riley also lied to a police officer and told him he had a CPC. He said it was in his jacket, but it wasn't because he hasn't got one. So he's lied to an official of the law. So he's a guaranteed liar. There's that.
Check Skype, mate.
Shout out. Bit of a buffoon.
So we'll give a shout out to Rumpus, who calculates failure all the time. We'll shout out to GeoStreamer, that calculates failure. Shout out to Paul Voight, who struggles with the word reduced, struggles with the observer height in regards to the lighthouse at 40 meters, I think it was. Who else was the Nate that we can shout out?
Slice
Tim
Bar Kane for
earlier.
his total failure.
What?
Shout out to Slice Bar Kane for his total failure.
Yeah, Slice Bar Kane,
Slice
you can have a shout.
Yeah, I'll shout out Sly Sparking, who actually confirmed I am a mod on Nathan's channel. Thank you for that, Sly. Well done.
In your dreams. Keep shouting about
Shout out to
failures.
Let's shout out Sean Hufford for wearing eyeliner. I'm sure he was wearing eyeliner in one of his last videos.
Shout out Sheila Hufford.
Yeah, Sheila Hufford.
No need.
Who else is there? Who else has had a go? There's been quite a few. Oh, shout out to Arwin, actually.
Hey,
Shout out
Alkay's
to
in there.
Arwin.
Shout out to Alkay for failing to release his results.
Shut up, Nathan. Nathan, be quiet.
Yeah, quick, tell me to
out
be
to
quiet
Arvijan.
because I'm talking about Alkay, who hasn't released the results.
Shout out Alkay.
Chris was telling us how
Yeah, see,
GPS
look,
doesn't
I'll read
work,
Alkay's
Alkay.
comment.
Is it
No
because you
one
failed to get
cares
what you
about
hoped
what
for?
Lily wants, which is a valid comment. Like that. I will shout out to the girly ankles, Bill G. No problem.
Girly ankles.
Shout out to the guy that's apparently got naked photos of Riley on some stairs looking like a fat blob. I don't know.
Yeah, again, in your fantasy,
Shout
I
out
think.
Truth Seeker. Shout out Mr. Flat Perv. I'm not shouting you out.
Shout out Mark Taylor for Blurry Pixels defense.
Boring interview yesterday.
Dubbed the Blurry Pixels Mark Taylor defense.
Shout out to the lumberjack in Ranty's cupboard. Shout out Alan B. What's up, Alan? Shout out Levi, Ohio. We see you watching. Chuck a little couple dollars in the pot if you can. Don't do that.
Wow, well, you've distracted for 10 minutes with shout outs, so you've got nothing then? Really nothing to debunk this?
I'm just doing shout outs until other people come in, Nathan. I'm not here. I'm just here to moderate, remember?
Moderate what?
Lottie.
Got nothing to moderate because no one's got anything to debunk it.
I know, so I'm doing shout outs. Shout out Joe
Hey, Lottie.
Panda.
Can you do a shout out for me?
What?
Can you do a shout out for me? Are you not doing shout outs
Do it
anymore? Have you
yourself.
stopped? No, I want you to do it. Will you do it for me if I tell you the shout out?
No.
Oh, okay then.
Shout out Riley being a bit awkward.
Only because you thought it was a gotcha.
What? No, I did. At first, I thought you wanted me to shout you out.
No, I want you to do a shout out for me Because I don't want to shout it out
it's
myself.
probably. Oh. No, you should do that yourself, Riley, if you've got the balls.
Okay, then. Shout out to Patricia Steer, who'll be hosting the four of us tonight on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. We're going to spend about 3 hours laughing at how none of you guys have been able to debunk this observation.
Wow, Riley, that was... Wow. Such a fat head.
Paul Voice will be getting special attention. Jeremy will be getting special attention. Miles Davis, he's definitely Miles the Liar Davis. He'll definitely be getting special attention. Girly Ankles, he'll get a shout out. Who else? Paul Voight struggles with the word reduced. He'll definitely be getting a shout out. Might even shout Lottie out. So, okay, so basically this is my position. I'll release the EXIF data, provided that Miles and Alki release their evidence showing what they could see, because we want to see it. Just the video, no stills, just play the video the way I did. Don't edit it, just play it. And Jeremy retracts his comment, which we know is not going to happen.
I think the snipers think you're on Skype. They don't realise that you're still in the Hangout. So they're trying to mute me to shut you up, but you're in the Hangout.
They might be muting you to try and shut Spurs up, but he's been a good boy.
I genuinely just think they're bored of the show, honestly. It's nothing suspicious. I think they're just bored. Oh, shout out Jared Buto. We like him. He's a good guy.
Gem Panda has nothing to apologise for. I didn't ask Gem Panda to apologise. I asked Gem Panda to retract his comment.
I have to do something. Ranty just asked me to shout out the Girl Guides of St. Bees, so I'll do that. Shout out to Bendy Light.
Accidentally put the tackle meter in the bin, Sleeping Warrior. Why lie, bro?
And with that, I am going to round out the show and echo the words of Anthony Riley. We will be on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes tonight at around 11 PM GMT, depending on the punctuality of Patricia Steer. So be here or be sphere. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley. Massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible, and I will see you all in the next video.